Hello everyone! Today we're continuing our walk through the streets of Valletta, Malta's capital. If you haven't seen the first episode of this new series, in which we're exploring Malta, I will leave you a link to that video in the description and in the card above. We walk by the fortified city walls towards the Victoria Gate, which connects the city to the Grand Harbour. Close to the Victoria Gate, we find the ferry terminal that connects the city of Valletta to Tricity. To get to the Victoria Gate, we have to cross a footbridge. In some evenings, the nearby establishment, the Bridge Bar, places some of its tables and offers live music. We are going down to the Victoria Gate, the only remaining gate of the old city gates. The rest have been demolished over time. The gate was built in 1885 by the British, and it's named after Queen Victoria of Great Britain. The gate is located between the Marina Curtain and the St. Barbara Bastion. This is a very important gate that aided in the development of trade in the area. It was here, in the Grand Harbour, that merchant ships bringing goods and produce from the continent stopped, and it was also here that cruise ships came and still come to this day. The Grand Harbour, in Italian Porto Grande, is also called the Port of Valletta and is a natural harbour, which has been in use since prehistoric times, as not too far from it, old temples dating back to approximately 3700 BC have been found. We are now passing by the Musa building, which was inaugurated on the 7th of March 1974 and houses the National Museum of Fine Arts. At the end of this street, you can see the first church built in Valletta, the Church of Our Lady of Victory, which was built to celebrate the victory against the Ottoman invasion of 1566. And with it, the construction of the city began. In this church, the great master Jean de la Valette, the founder of the city, was also buried, and from here he was moved to the St. John's co-cathedral. We have arrived in the square in front of the building Albergo di Castiglia, which hosts the Prime Minister's office, this being the Maltese government building. Albergo di Castiglia was built between 1573 and 1574. In the square we also find the statue of Manuel de Meck, who was a socialist, philosopher, journalist, writer, poet and revolutionary. The next statue is of Dom Mintoff, socialist politician and Prime Minister of Malta when Malta was still under British occupation, but also after Malta became an independent state. This monument was erected in 2015 to commemorate the Migration Summit hosted by Malta. The last statue in the square is of George Borg Oliver, Prime Minister from the Nationalist Party, and behind his statue is the Malta Stock Exchange. The original name of this building was the Casino della Borsa. The structure was built in 1857 and was used as a multi-denominational place of worship until 1950. Then it was used for entertainment purposes, as a postal office, and for a while it was used as a naval school, and from 1992 it became what it is today, the Malta Stock Exchange. Behind the stock exchange is the Upper Baraka Gardens, an oasis of greenery within the walls of the fortress. The public garden was built above the St. Peter and Paul Bastion in 1560. In the park there are several statues and an artesian fountain, and not too long ago another statue was brought to the park. The statue of Blue, a dinosaur from the latest movie of the Jurassic Park franchise, the Jurassic World Domination, which was partially filmed in Valletta but also in other cities in Malta, such as Victoriosa, Mellieha and Pembroke in 2020. This statue is of Vice Admiral Harry Hoffman, a British Royal Navy officer who participated in the French Revolution in Malta. The next statue is of Judge Joseph Nicolas Zamit. In the park there is also a museum of cannons, the Saluting Battery, which every day at 4 o'clock ceremoniously salutes with the firing of a cannon. And if you are in the area and want to experience this centuries-old ritual up close, you can go down close to the cannons. The Saluting Battery is under the administration of the Malta Heritage, Malta's national museum agency, and they're preserving this midday ritual, which in the past was more than that, being an integral part of everyday life on the island. The firing of the cannon was used to mark key moments of the day, such as the sunrise and sunset, the midday, and the call to prayer. The firing of the cannon, which in the past happened multiple times a day, for a time was used by the shipmasters to calibrate their clocks and to calculate the longitude at sea. And with this midday ritual, today's story ends. If you've enjoyed today's walk through Valletta and want to be notified when we release the next video, subscribe to the channel by clicking the subscribe button and click the little bell icon so you are notified when we release a new video. Share and like this video so we know you're enjoying it. And we'll see you next time for our first hike on the trails in the north of Malta.